So I am an independent freight agent for Kopf Logistics. So I own my own business. They handle all of the accounting, the back of the office stuff. They will pay myself the commission for what I make on the loads and pay the carrier theirs before they actually receive payment from the customer. Number one, obviously I got to get customers. So that's the first thing. You know, I will put in solicitation phone calls and emails and secure accounts that need help shipping their truckloads of product across the country. Once I secure that, my role is basically to provide pricing on the shipments and then find carriers to haul the shipments. And then I got to facilitate the appointments, make sure everything runs smoothly, and once it's delivered, I will profit the difference. For me, a big selling point with Kopf is the fact that they don't have a vast they don't have this huge agent network. I've worked for other freight brokerages that have an agent program, and the previous one I was at was just totally saturated. So there was like, I mean, I would call and basically 1 out of 5 phone calls before once I said who I was with, they're like, we're already working with you. So with Kopf, I don't have that. I can basically call anyone across the country and I'll never run into that problem. They're a great group of people. They're direct, they're honest. My number one thing, like I say, is the small group of people that work for them, so I can call about anybody. They definitely have a lot of pricing tools where I can, and I'm pretty good with math and numbers and knowledge of the market, but the more tools I have, just the better I'm going to be. I can see a lot of what the market trends do because they have different access to applications and software programs, and so I will use those and just kind of apply it and figure out a number in my head that I think is probably the best price to provide to a customer, as well as the best price I can probably pay a carrier. Cloud is a software program that they purchased, and so I use that to build all of my loads, to set up carriers, to, you know, facilitate everything, sending rate confirmations, anything business related is going to go through this software program which they purchased. That program has a lot of reports that can be ran. The more loads that I'm going to build into it, the more the research I'm going to be able to look back upon and see the market trends. The other ways that they support me, they got an awesome accounting staff that does a great job. They answer the questions quickly. You know, whether it's I need a proof of delivery, you know, customer request for some kind of paperwork that they need, I ask for it and I get that back pretty quickly. If it's important to be able to call upon a lot of accounts, which isn't a big deal, like I said, you're going to be able to call it basically on any account across the country and you've got a 99.9% chance that they're available. You know, they'll work with someone that has no experience whatsoever or very little experience in the industry, and they'll work with you and give you that opportunity, which to me is unique, especially considering what a great company they are. Kopf is very direct and straightforward, so the fact that they'll bring on someone and invite them to their company that has no experience is a pretty big deal. Kopf is actually given me accounts, which again to me is the most unique thing ever. As an independent freight agent that gets a pretty sizable chunk of the commission that's made, I've always had it where I have to go out and work for my business, you know, and I bring it on and I get paid pretty well percentage-wise for it. I've never ever heard of a company actually giving opportunities, and that's exactly what Kopf has done for me. Like I said, with the personal staff, they're always growing. They have other opportunities that are huge too that I haven't touched on. The fact that they own trucks, so that opens a lot of doors to accounts. A lot of times you'll call accounts, oh, you're a 3PL, you're a freight brokerage, sorry, we only work with asset only. Well, Kopf has trucks, they do have assets, so that makes that conversation go a little easier, and you could start the conversation and perhaps actually get the trucks in there, or maybe that just gives it enough of an opening for that door for you to work your way in as the 3PL. Leroy, his father Kenny, who I believe started it, are phenomenal people. It's a very much family, faith-based company. Honest, that's what you're gonna get. Like I said, that's a big deal in this industry, honesty. And so honesty from whom you're representing, honesty from whom's paying you is a big deal, and you will find that with Kopf Logistics.